Hello guys, how are you today? Happy Saturday, Shadow Saturday. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how you should be applying your shadow. Okay, so let's see here. My phone is baying. Let's see here. Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how to and not to apply your shadow. How to apply your shadow when you have mature skin. Okay, these are huge do's and don'ts. Okay, so one side I'm going to do what you should do, and one side I'm going to show you what you shouldn't do. Okay. Okay. So I put some hyaluronic acid on my face, okay? So one of the things that I feel like a lot of people struggle with is they tend to just take their eyeshadow and they put it like all over this lid. So I'm going to show you guys how you should be applying it. I'm just going to take some of my light concealer and I'm just going to put that all over. Okay. Now, I definitely like a transition color. However, I will tell you that having just a concealer base is nice. And this acts as a primer too. So I'm going to show you guys on the other side what not to do. Okay. Let's see here. I know I haven't been on here on Saturdays very much. Missed you guys. Missed you. Okay. Okay. I'm going to show you guys what not to do. Okay. What to do, what not to do. Okay, so I'm getting my shadows out here. Make sure I can find the shadows that I want to use. It's I Dream of Jeannie. One of my favorites. Okay, so here is a, these two could be really nice bases if you wanted a base. So I'm going to show you guys what not to do and what to do. Okay. So a lot of times we just put this base down and we get this powdery look, right? So this is the side of what we've been conditioned to do versus what we should be doing with our skin. So if you look over here, this has been primed with just a light concealer. You're putting that in the inner corner there. This is where you're putting that powdery matte on there. Okay, so do you see how it just keeps the eye so much more conditioned? It just looks a little bit better. You're getting that, you're not getting that powdery, look. Okay. The other thing is a lot of times mature skin women have our little hooded eye. Hooded means like that skin is like hanging down, right? See, like all I have to do is just go like that and it like hangs down. So again, this is a side that we don't want to do. This side is the side, hi Mara, the side that we want to do. If you look here, it just looks more even. It looks more hydrated. Over here, that powdery side, it just doesn't look great. So this is just a concealer on this side. Okay, so this is the side we want to do. This is the side that we don't. So I'm just going to take a normal everyday shadow, how we would have done it previously and how we should do it now. So I know we've been conditioned to put that powder on there. Let's not do that anymore, okay? So I'm going to take, let's see here. I'm going to take a lighter brown. I'm going to take this lighter brown right in here and show you how we've been kind of conditioned to apply it. So we've just been kind of conditioned to take it and just kind of throw it on there, right? And then we get like this big old mess, right? So I want to show you guys what you should do, especially when you have mature skin with hooded eyes. So my suggestion is to not to raise like I did before, but to leave the lid just a little bit where you're like raising your eyebrow just a little bit, because if you go like this, it'll crinkle. But just kind of just a little bit raise that. And we're going to just take it and we're going to, I should have used a more fluffier brush for this. Sorry, guys. We're just going to fluff this in. Okay. Okay, so do you see how it's blending? What I want you to really think about is making a sunset. Okay, making a sunset. Blending that in, going slow and steady, just like that. So you're just making a sunset. Versus over here, we tend to just kind of roll that color around. You know, we're just kind of like throwing it on, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people don't understand the purpose of hooded eyes and how we have to really blend that color in order for it to give us that effect. Because if you look here, it's not really doing much for us in the eye department, right? So that's why I like a fluffy brush. Okay, and that's why I like to stick with concealer, because concealer can work just as good as a powder. Because if you look over here, it's really powdery. And if you struggle with not getting your brows plucked or waxed like me, it's not going to show it as bad if you just have that concealer over there. So we're just making that rainbow effect. Now we're not done yet, so just hang tight. Now the other thing that we've been very conditioned to do is doing like an outside V, right? You can even see with my eyes, like you can see the difference that it's making. One is more open and one is like, I mean, you can already see a complete difference. If you can, comment below. Okay, so I'm going to use the side angled brush, and I'm just going to take a darker, like this darker brown right in here. Okay. And so this is kind of how we've been conditioned to apply that. I'm trying to not apply tons at one time because I don't want it to be like scary. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so see how we're just kind of tapping that on there. We're making that V, right? So we've been conditioned with like the YouTuber thing to kind of go like that. Well, you guys, I think that sometimes is a little bit more difficult for people. I feel like sometimes people really want that glam look, and it doesn't work I mean, it works, but you have to really like look at your color, look at your pigmentation. You have to remember, like, the more we put on, the more people see, right? So I'm just using this mid-sized brush, and I'm just taking that same color, okay? And I'm just taking that brush again, and I'm just lightly dragging that color. I'm just lightly dragging it. And the reason why I'm lightly dragging it is because I want to keep that rainbow effect. Have you guys ever struggled with like trying to put multiple colors on, and it just looks like a hot mess? It just looks like a hot mess. And you're like, I don't understand why it looks so muted. That's a good word to use, muted. Okay. Well, that happens when you're using too many colors, right? So I'm just going to go in with that same brush, and I'm just rainbowing it out. Okay. So I'm just blending it out, right? So we just want to blend. Okay, so do you see you're still getting like that? You're still getting that effect. You're still getting that brown effect on the side. You're still getting that ombre type look. You're just not like getting this huge, you know, boop, 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 boop. It looks almost like a shelving, if that's a good word to say. But if you look over here, my skin is hanging further down than this side. Do you see that? This side is so much more open than the other side. Now, here's the other thing. A lot of times we put just like a clear right in here. I want to show you guys a different option for that. That's going to be a little bit more helpful. And so hopefully this is helpful for you guys. So I'm going to take this little color right in here. It's almost like a light pink, right? And I'm applying it right there. Nothing huge. It's like a light pink. And it just kind of helps. Okay, so do you see how it just kind of helps open up that color right in there? It's almost like a white. It's a whitish pinkish color. It's not a lot of color. I'm just literally patting that in. I'm not taking a lot, and that's just going to help to it's just really going to help to open up that eye. Okay. Now, a lot of times we want to put like a little bit of glitter in there. Totally fine. I don't wear tons of glitter unless it's like I'm purposely putting a lot of glitter on for a glam look. So I want to show you guys kind of what I do for kind of just adding that glitter glam to it. Okay. So if you see here, like my brow and my eyes just like go up versus if I had, excuse me, I have the hiccups, versus if I just kind of did it the old way and didn't know the technique. It just looks like my face is, excuse me, is going downwards. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of setting spray in my finger or my hand. And I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to take a little bit of a glitter. I'm not going to take a lot. I'm just going to take a little bit of this right in here. Okay. Just this right in here. And I'm going to close my eye. Okay. And I'm just going to apply it right where that pupil is. Okay. Right where that pupil is. I'm not doing tons. I'm just applying it right where that pupil is. Okay, now what I'll do now is I'll take that fluffy brush. This one right here. And I'll just kind of go in and make sure it's nice and even. Now, here's how we used to do it. We take this brush, put it in the color, right? And we go all in and we make it just like that, right? Now you can still take the brush, but just pat it in that one area. Okay, because that's all we want it right now. It's just in that one area. Okay, so because if we put it all over, it would tend to make the eye look more muted, if that's a good word to say. So I'm just going to go in with that same brush and I'm just going to even that out again. Okay, now I'm all about glam, but I know like as mature women, we struggle. We really want to have that, you know, that really pretty look, right? So this is one of my favorite tricks. I've done this for so many years. Absolutely love it. I love this little dome brush right in here. So I'm just going to go back into my concealer again. And I'm just going to put that lightness right in there. Take my finger. Go with that brush again. And look at that. Okay, so then you can bring it in a little bit to that glitter color, and I just tap it out. Okay, guys, like, look how much easier that is. Look how much more in tune that looks. Look how much more build up there is. Look how much more shaded it looks. Here's my fluffy brush right here. This is like my go-to fluffy brush. So we have the lightness right up in here. That's all from concealer. The concealer I use has primer in it too. We just put that, we just kind of lifted the eyebrows a little bit, created a lid there. We didn't do the V. Remember that V, that horrible V that we've always been taught? You know, that people are like, do the Nike swoosh, do the Nike swoosh. Okay, and then I just applied a little bit of a light color right in here, just a little, and then applied just a glitter right over the pupil and put a little concealer here on the end. Now I'm going to give you guys a little bit of extra goodie here. I'm going to actually show you how you should be lining your eyes with Mature Skin. And you're going to like this because it's going to save you a lot of heartache and boxed in eye look. Because I feel like as we mature, we start to put our shadow on really deep, and it just doesn't look right. Let me, okay, so this is the, hi Chris, so this is the liner I'm going to use. It needs sharpened, and I don't know where my sharpener is. I need to look for it. Let me get down here. Okay, so as Mature Skin, I really like tight lining. Tight lining for me is really beneficial. I love it. It seems to really help. It makes your lashes look longer and fuller. I'm not going to show you exactly how to do it. I'm going to look over here because I don't want, I've had somebody tell me before that it looks gross. And it does. Okay, so all I did was I tight lined underneath here. So you're taking that pinkish tone away from it being, you know, in the hair or in the underneath the eye. Now you could go all the way in. I don't like to do that. I don't trust myself. Again, we're seeing the eye lift, right? Versus if we just were to take and I love pen liner, and I use pen liner when I want to do like a wing. But let me show you guys, if you just did liner, what it would look like. I feel like we watch these YouTubers and we think like makeup has to be a certain way or has to be done a certain way. To me, like, it's just not necessary, right? So you can go in here on this side and you can, I make it very thin line, okay? That's why I like pen, because I'm right on top of that lash. Okay, so do you see here how it makes those lashes look longer and fuller? Because under here you see the pink. Under here you're not seeing the pink, right? So with that said, I'm going to show you guys how that makes the lash look longer and fuller. Obviously, you want to use a curling, I call it a curling rod. It's a lash curler. I call it a curling rod. But I'm going to put my mascara on here. Where did my, you guys haven't got it? I love this stuff. You can get it at your local Wally World. This is like my favorite. It's just a volume. It's L'Oreal Paris. Love this stuff. It is, I love it because it just protects my lash. Not that I need to, but I have really thin lashes because I had extensions for so long. And I really didn't take care of them, unfortunately. So that's what you get, right? Okay, so I'm going to just put on my mascara here. And now when you have mature eyes, that kind of thing, I really recommend looking down and zigzagging through your lashes because you're able to look at them more. I find as mature skin, our lashes tend to like cross. Now, I'm not saying everybody is like that. I'm saying the reason our lashes kind of do that is because the way that we sleep sometimes has to do with that. So there's nothing you can really do about that unless you want to just lay straight on your back, right? And I don't know about you, but I hate laying on my back. I always wake up and I'm like, ugh, I feel like the genie. Oh, 10,000 years, a crick in the neck. I always feel like the genie when I wake up from that. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys on this side the difference. And I'm not going to put that primer on. I'm not going to put any of that on. I'm just going to put the mascara on. Okay. I have that one little lash right there that it is a booger butt. So are you guys seeing like how the difference is? Now this is going to be the cherry on top, okay? So that's why I like to use this double-edged liner because I'm basically getting 2 for 1. I'm going to show you guys how this is going to totally open up your eye. This is like the cherry on top. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to, and look at that. So if you struggle with almond eyes, hooded eyes, almond eyes are like, or like the Asian eyes where there's not even a lid there, a double, because they usually have double lids. So I have like an almond hooded eye. So if I were to put black liner down here, it would make my eye look more squintier. So I'm going to show you on the other side how that would look. Because this was always taught to us to do it like this, right? Look at that, guys. Come on now. Come on. My eye looks absolutely horrific over here. So this just goes to show you these simple things that you can kind of tweak in your routine that are gonna make your lid look completely different, make it look more camouflaged, make your eye look lifted, more open. These are things that we've been so conditioned. Now, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, right? I'm an 80s baby. I grew up in the 90s too. I mean, I literally took a lighter and put that on there. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to do it. I'm just saying, like, look how much smaller it makes the eye look compared to when you put that nude down there, you put the liner underneath, and you do a soft pen. Now, with mature skin, I recommend brown. And the reason why I recommend brown is because it really fades into that lash. It's not this dark, distinct look. So, like, for example, this is the brown. Let me see if I can find the black here so you guys can see what I'm saying. Oh, here's the black. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with black. I'm just saying this is what I recommend. Oh, man. My daughter left this out. And this is the black. So do you see how this is dried out? My daughter left this open and look at it. It's completely dried out. Have kids, they say, right? So as you can see, this is going to give you that lighter feathery look. And if you really wanted to, you could go out and do a wing. I'm not doing that because I'm not needing a dramatic look right now. I just want a normal, everyday look that's going to open up and not make my eye look totally, you know, squinty. And I love the fact that this stuff is smear proof, like, and so is the liner too. So if you struggle with your eyes sweating or moving, you're really gonna love the liner. I went too fast. Hey Laura, you're really gonna like the liner. I waited too long. I waited not long enough to rub it. So these are just simple steps that I've tweaked in my routine. This is how we've been conditioned. This is kind of the new way of doing it. I will also show you what's going to be another icing on the cake is taking a brow gel and just feathering out that and shaping that brow. I love this stuff because it's like brows for dummies, guys. If I can do this, anybody can. So do you see how shaping that brow is just your face? You can give yourself a literal facelift in like 10 minutes, however long it takes you to do your makeup. Okay, here we go. So this stuff is smear proof too. So that's why I like it. I like my makeup to be waterproof, smear proof, water resistant, especially in the summertime. I have really bad allergies. So if you look here, that nude just really changes it. You could do a white. I've used white before. I feel like white is like, you can see it more versus the nude. The nude matches the pink a little bit more. So it's not so like, right? I feel like the white almost makes it look like 80s. You could use the white, but I like using the nude because it looks a little bit more casual, that kind of thing. So, okay guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you need my step-by-step guide of what I did today, I totally get it. We did a lot. So comment below guide and I can send you the step-by-step guide that we did. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys have a great Saturday and thanks for